Good evening. Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. Very special show here. I'm Kyle Perry on Unkut, 93.7 The Ticket. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say because I'm sure you're going to have a lot to say. Hammer that Honda Lincoln hotline 402-464-5685. Start our hand text line. I'd love to hear what you got to say because we got a couple special guests in here tonight. The projected Friday and Saturday starter. I don't know. Flip a coin, ladies and gentlemen. It's 1A, 1B. Emmett Olson and Jace Kaminska. Great to hear you. And Emmett's been on here a couple of times, but we are we're breaking open a new one here with Jace tonight. And I'm fired. He's grinning ear to ear on the other side of me here. Boys, thank you for coming on. First off, second of all, how fired up are we for the 2023 baseball season? It's coming up, 10 days away. How are we feeling?
Fired up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jace,
Eager, ready to get started. So.
Of course.
Got to Cali too.
You've never been?
Nope.
Well, if they ask you to move the keys to the batter's box, so don't bite. That's not any Cali lingo. That's what I thought my first time around. If you, I told you that story, haven't I? Yeah, I thought that was some Cali lingo. I thought they called the battery shell, the batter's box, the shell that the batters at BP.
Yeah.
I thought they called that the batter's box. That's how I got fooled into that whole trick from Erstad and Percival. Anyways, well, Jace, hey, we're going to break you in. We're going to break you in right quick, kid. It's great to have you on, by the way. It's great to see your face in the booth, man, by the way. I mean, we've had the likes of Will Rizzo, Charlie Casey Burnham, you name it. I mean, and we got another new Husker, fresh face in the building here in Lincoln. Jace, I just want, I mean, you're from Wichita State. Former Shocker turned Husker. I mean, you love the Heartland. So break it down for us. I mean, tell us a little bit about your high school because you have a very decorated high school experience, and here you are. I mean, a rock star at the Division I level, and I want to just have these listeners, get a grasp on who they're dealing with when they hear and then go and to the games and see Jace Kaminska shoving it up, the Big Ten's, what. I just want them to have a nice grasp. So walk us back a little bit. Talk about, from sophomore year in high school and how you ended up in Lincoln, Nebraska eventually. So give us a little rundown on you.
Okay, so if we're starting off with my sophomore year, I would say sophomore year was kind of my big breakout year for my career. And
tell people where you're from.
I'm from Caney, Kansas, which is in southeast Kansas. It's just over the Oklahoma line and about an hour north of Tulsa. So it's just kind of in the middle of nowhere, but not too far to any big city. Like right. Wichita's 2 hours, Joplin's an hour. So I can go about anywhere. But and then against Caney is where I went to high school, and it's a town of about 2,500, and then I'm actually from a small town called Tyro, which is about 100 people. Which there's a stop sign and a post office.
That's all you need.
Yep.
Real quick, just want to pull the mic just a little closer too.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Use your big boy voice.
Yeah. I didn't know.
Right. So I mean, you're coming out party sophomore year.
Yep.
Walk us through.
Sophomore year was my big breakout year because I got invited to that PBR Super 60.
Oh.
Or not Super 60, the Futures games.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
Yeah. So I went to that, and I did pretty good at it. I want to say I threw like 92 or something at it. So overnight I had like 20 offers, and then I got the two that were really on me the most was Wichita State and K-State right then and there. That would have been like sophomore summer-ish. Going like towards the end of the summer, going into school, and then they both threw money at me, and then they both did the Division I pressure crap where you got
we're gonna yank it.
Yeah, you got 2 weeks maybe, or we're going on to the next kid. And Wichita gave me like significantly more money, and being the historically better baseball school, I went there.
Yeah,
that's where I committed.
Yeah,
and then I wasn't necessarily good then, like. I hadn't really accomplished anything. That was like where I was just starting to climb the ladder as far as maybe throwing a little harder.
Showing a bit of projection.
Yep.
The young Jace. Yeah.
Yep. Young, skinny Jace.
Yep.
And then I committed to Wichita, and then I go into my junior year, and I mean, the goal initially was just to be good enough to play Division I, and then I just kept throwing harder and getting better. And then, like my junior year, I had a good year, but we don't play anybody. But I ended up, I make first team All State, and then I win Gatorade Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm. There it is. I was waiting
First
for it.
one.
I was waiting for it.
First one. Yep. And then, so I mean, that one was
It's got to be the happiest.
Oh, yeah.
happiest time of your life.
It was. It's not. It's more than just baseball stats when you enter for it. A lot of people don't know it because they don't ever get the opportunity to even like submit an
I know.
application for it.
I know.
Okay.
KP got robbed of it.
I got robbed. I got robbed my
Should've went-
junior year.
You should have went down in
'Cause-
classification.
Because did you know you need a 3.0 GPA to win? I did not have a 3.0 GPA. That's the baseline GPA.
Well,
I'm not gonna go and toot my own horn, but yes, I do know what the baseline is for. There's other things other than baseball, and that's where I got lost. I thought it was just baseball.
yeah.
Oh, that's
So-
a bummer. That's critical information.
It
too.
is, I know.
That sucks.
So I did submit an application, thought I was gonna win it. Got told last second, well, buddy, you didn't have a 3.0. So we had to hand it to the next best guy. So go ahead. Sorry, Jace. I mean, just a funny little tidbit.
Yeah. So I won it. It was, big deal because especially like from the town I'm from, like I would say we probably had like the number of people that even play collegiately from my little small town would be on one hand, and they're either NAI or even JUCO, and they don't go anywhere. So it was a really big deal.
You got to be legit to make it out the mud there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because everyone just does the same thing, does what their parents does. No one really has any goals or is driven. And so I win that, and then I start getting invited to all the events and stuff. So like I got invited like to play with the Royal Scout team and stuff, and then I started getting on the draft radar for some teams, and then I really started to blossom. I got to where I could pitch, and I was probably throwing like 93 or 4 then as a junior, and possibility of draft. And so I made that was pretty much the sophomore summer was the biggest summer. And then the senior year going into that, it was the COVID. So I'd worked really hard up until then. And then the COVID year, I won Gatorade Player for the second time.
By default.
Yeah, by default. But
Just no one better there. I mean,
still got 2 trophies though.
right, of course. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Max Anderson, our teammate. He won. Yeah, he won the Nebraska that year.
By default.
Yeah, by default.
We hit like 800 in Legion Ball.
Yeah, it was stupid. I mean, it's
Yeah.
stupid good.
But I mean, I played I hit in high school too, but I mean, I didn't play anybody. I didn't just turn in pitching stuff too. I hit like 600 in high school. And it's like I can't hit anything though. But I won it the sophomore year. It wasn't near a school, but
Yeah.
But that was a really disappointing year because I was supposed to get drafted out of high school. I was predicted to go between the 7th and 10th round, and then I ended up only getting a couple free agent deals, one with the Royals and one with the Rangers, and I didn't take either one of them because it was COVID signing money, which was like $20,000.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal year.
So,
Yeah. Shortened draft and everything. Yeah.
yeah.
So you get to Wichita. Emmett, we'll get to you. You're not forgotten. Love you, buddy. We got Emmett Olson here and Jace Kaminska, the 2 studs of the staff this year, and we're fired up to have him in. But Jace is giving us a little rundown about how he ended up in Lincoln. He's a transfer from Wichita State. So you get to Wichita, right, Jace?
Yeah.
So walk us through. We know you carried that same momentum into your freshman year, right?
Oh yeah.
So give the people a little taste of what you did, before you entered the portal and ended up in Lincoln.
So get to Wichita. I go through the fall, just like a freshman, kind of figuring yourself out, seeing where you fit on the totem pole. And I really had a dominant fall all fall. But then when it came down to like exit meetings and like telling me what you were going to do and what their expectations were, they kind of told me like they saw me as a bullpen guy or maybe a potential maybe a midweek starter. But it was kind of like they already had plans with other guys, and that really pissed me off because I had I was really decorated high school player coming in, and it's like because I was from the small town, they weren't going to give me a chance.
Right.
And then so going into the spring, they start another freshman kid because he was like a 6'6" right-hander and like projectable, but he wasn't necessarily ready.
Right.
Whereas I would have I may not have been as tall or whatever, but I was like kind of turnkey and ready to go. Just give me a chance.
Right.
And so they started him, and then they put me in the bullpen, and I was really pissed. And then 3 or 4 weeks goes by of me just kind of rotting in the pen and maybe getting a few outings here or there, 1 inning little stints. And then they finally give me my chance against K-State. And my first start was against K-State on a midweek. It was one of those cold, rainy days, like where the wind's 50.
That
Boy,
is
Emmett
weird.
knows
Same exact college, first college debut starting against K-State at K-State. Blistering cold, probably what, 20 degrees maybe?
It was
if
frosty
that.
one. It was
If that.
brisk.
Oh, it was.
Yeah,
it was
with the
brutal.
wind right in your mouth. Yeah. I also had me a midweek start against K-State. There's our bond, boys.
This must be the christening to your
You guys all
Yeah.
you guys all started versus
It was
K-State?
it was the peak of all of our careers.
Is that just
Yes.
how Bolt likes to do? Well, no, I guess he did.
No, actually, I wasn't with Coach Bull at the time. That was
That's right.
that
Yeah,
was 10 years ago with Coach Erstad.
maybe that's just like collective coaches thing. Like that's,
Right.
that's where you start the new
K-State.
guys.
Well, I mean, they're all playing K-State. Everyone's playing K-State. I mean, it's they're just a hop, skip, and a jump down there. So everyone's got to get a taste at
Either way,
that,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Right. So I mean, okay, and so carry on with your freshman year because I know you were met with some bright spots towards the end there.
Yeah. So I get my first start against K-State. We win like 5-1, I think.
Yeah.
And then the next weekend we play Houston, and they just start me off in the Saturday roll.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, they just bumped me right up to Saturday because I won.
Talk about a promotion.
Yeah. And then I stayed Saturday for 3/4 of the way through the year. I got to where I was like 7-0 or something, and I was leading the nation in ERA. And then we play biggest win probably that year. We played East Carolina at home at Wichita, and
Solid program.
that was the year they had Gavin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He threw on Friday. He threw 98 to like 101 the whole game, pitch 1 to 100, and they ruled us 10-0. and then it was a double-header day, so that was like I want to say like noon game, and then I come out at 4, and then we ruled them like 11-0. So
you're basically Gavin Williams.
yes, essentially, yeah. But so that happens. Then they bumped me after that weekend because that was a pretty critical weekend because that was kind of like that put us at number 2 in the conference standings,
right.
And they bumped me up to Friday after that because the other guy just wasn't getting it done, and they just flip-flopped our spots, and then I think I finished the year 8-1. I lost 1 game to South Florida. Just didn't have a good game. Ball was up. I was getting lit up all over that. I gave up 5 runs or something, and then I finished the year with I was 8-1 with a 2.32 ERA and was a first-team freshman All-American, I think, on all the ballots.
Boom, there we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Gosh, yes, that's what we were getting to. Jace Kaminska, freshman All-American at Wichita State. Okay, then so your sophomore year, right? You get, like I said, Emmett, we're getting to you. I just want to get to where Jace ends up in Lincoln, but
am I too slow?
No. No, I'm just giving you grief.
Okay.
No, so then sophomore year, how was it? You got all these accolades, right?
Yeah.
On all ballots, your freshman All-American. That's a pretty. We're talking 18, 19. You're probably 19 one at the time.
Yeah.
Right. That's a lot of stuff to fill your head.
A lot of quick success.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course. 7-1. That's phenomenal as a freshman. Phenomenal. I think every freshman. Was that what you were as a freshman?
No, that's what you did.
I was like, gee. Oh yeah, 8-1. Sorry, God. Send an apology letter to the Kaminska family ASAP. Boy, is my face red. But no, so that's like you said, it's a lot of early success in your college career. A 19-year-old kid getting told this, hell, you can't even go down the street and have a beer. And you're getting the success. So, right, you're going into your sophomore year. That's a lot. That's a lot to back up.
Yeah.
Some might call it freaking beginner's luck. In the gambling ranks, but we're talking college baseball. So, right, you go into your sophomore year. What's your thought process? Coming in, right?
So, kind of okay. Going off the freshman year, I went out to this New England league to play summer ball, and I think that's where the downhill spiral started because there was like a span out there. The way they did it out there in this league, at least the team I was on, was you had a designated day you pitched on. So mine was always Wednesday, and it rained 3 Wednesdays in a row. So yeah, so I went 29 days without pitching out there. And then the coaches got mad because I didn't get all my innings in the summer because I was short like 5 starts. And because every time I would start after that, I would have to build myself back up. And then when I get back to Wichita and for fall ball, I'm throwing like 84 or 5, and I feel like I've thrown 1,000 innings. And they're pissed at me because I think I did just, just laid down all summer, and I that wasn't the case. I just couldn't pitch, and it was like I wanted to come home multiple times because I would rather pitch bullpens in front of the coaches or something.
Right. Yeah.
So that happened, and then the fall, just the fall was kind of normal. I mean, just normal fall stuff, and then I think then when spring came around, we didn't have near the depth my sophomore year that we did my freshman year, which I wouldn't have known that. Maybe I get in the portal earlier. But freshman, you're a freshman, you don't really know what college baseball is like.
Oh,
and all
yeah.
Now that I'm older, I see it. I can see the bigger picture. Whereas a freshman, it's like, well, they recruited me and we had a good year this year, so surely they can do the same thing again next year.
Of course. Yeah.
And
well, I'm glad it worked out the way it did.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah. But so basically, we didn't have any depth, and all the weight.
So you watched it. You got handed the Friday spot.
Yeah, pretty much
Right.
by default. And well, and I kind of
Just like those freaking Gatorades, man.
yeah,
Just by default.
But
Start calling you Mr. Default.
yeah, that was kind of the bad thing though, because I didn't have anyone to really push me though either. And then every time, like I got better, but every time I asked for help my sophomore year, I always got denied help. And that was kind of the pissing me off point in me transferring, because it was like I had the All-American year, and it's like when I want to work on stuff in my bullpens, it was like, we don't have time for you. We got to work on these younger guys to get them ready to pitch. And it's like, well, why not? You're not doing anything to help me get better.
Right.
It's like you're
And you're still young.
Yeah,
You
and
need that.
Yeah, I'm 19, and these other kids are 18, and they're maybe 3-year projects, but I'm like, ready to go right now. Why wouldn't you want to help me maybe get ready for the draft or just to
Try and reach that ceiling earlier.
to build off that? And they just we didn't click on that. And then sophomore year just wasn't great. I went I think 3-9, but I started every Friday the whole year. And I think every game I won, I went 8 innings plus because we had 0 depth.
That's tough.
man.
Yeah. And so 3-9, and I think my ERA was like 550 or something, which is bad, but not like as many innings as I pitched.
Not
like
brutal.
for throwing 80 or 90 innings.
Right.
But I would say I got better though because my strikeouts like doubled because I just had to strike everybody out if I wanted to win because they couldn't do anything.
Right.
But I mean, and then they just I don't know, they mishandled me a lot too. I would say because my craziest stat line from my I would say freshman to sophomore year is my ERA went up, but my strikeouts doubled. But then my ERA from 0 to 95 pitches was a 1.32, which would have led the nation. But then 95 plus, my ERA was a 36.
Oh, I'll do it.
And I threw 125 pitches a game. They left me until the wheels fell off the bus.
Hey, well, I guess ride the hot hand when you have to.
So after that dumpster fire and, just me constantly like getting into not necessarily fights, but just like disagreements on like my future with the coaches, I hit the portal. I had an in with Marcuzzo here because he used to coach at Coffeyville, which is about 8 miles from where I'm from.
Oh yeah.
And so I used to go to the when I would have been 8 or 10, I used to go to their like hitting and pitching camps.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, but I was like the like better kid, so they would put me in like the high school one when I was like 10 years old.
Yeah.
But no athletes are from the area.
Who would have thunk it, man?
And Coach Marcuzzo was doing the camps.
Coach Marcuzzo, he would have been like
The two best voices in Husker baseball. Jace Kamenska and Danny Marcuzzo just happened to be 8 miles away from each other growing up. That's awesome.
well, he played there.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, I know.
man.
Yeah, one of my best buddies. He went to Coffeyville and played for him for a couple of years
What was
before
his
he
name?
came here. Noah Wallace. We went to the same high school in Omaha. So
Oh, probably don't know.
he wasn't around.
You're 10 years older than me. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, exactly. Forgot. Yeah, we're in here. Jace Kaminska, the fresh Husker man from Kansas, and Emmett Olson. So Emmett, Jace, just to finish it off, brother. So glad you're here. Fired up.
Yeah,
Fired up. So did Marcuso get you? Like he was your in. So when you hit the portal, did you
First
contact
phone
him?
call. No,
right
he
away?
called my dad.
you.
He had my dad's number
Oh,
from
that's
years
awesome.
ago doing like lessons and stuff.
Right. Hey, we need to get Jace to Lincoln ASAP. Is it?
Pretty much. Yeah. and had an offer like hadn't even like considered it or anything. Had an offer like on the first within a minute of the phone call. Like here's what we got. Yeah.
Well, hey man, we're fired up, man. I got goosebumps heading into the 2023 Husker baseball season. Jace Kaminska and Emmett Olson, couple of studs. All right, well, we'll get back to you after the break. 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Megan Whitaker from the Nebraska golf team. If you put your clubs away for the winter, it's time to get them back out. No need to stop. Thank Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle is home to Lincoln's best indoor golf simulator. It's perfect for every level of golfer, with everything from casual games for the kids to hyper-realistic simulations of some of the best courses in the world. And the best part, no matter what the weather's doing outside, it's always golf weather inside. See for yourself. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
This is how we do it every day.
If you love them enough to turn on your music and pretend like their music is your music,
this is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the
The Ticket.
Eight big running backs who are top 25 returning in 24/7 sports. You can certainly argue that Anthony Grant could be in there.
That's what's bad. Just because the Iowa running back ended the season high. Out of the end of the season. Look at the entire season. Anthony Grant had a great season.
The good news for Nebraska is Anthony Grant does fall off. AJ Allen looks like he's going to be there. Amir Johnson let them rush 2 years ago.
Who was your starter 2 years ago?
So, I mean, they've got a great room.
When suddenly you find yourself battling across quickly training for this moment by staying up on vaccinations, wash your hands, disinfect surfaces at home, and avoid touching your face. And thanks to the great tips at Packers Health Ward, you're on your way to being the very best at staying well. Don't let Pikachu damage your health this cold and flu season. Instead, start your training today at catchgoodhealth.org.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 53154-5695 or go to NovotnyNutritionandWellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
Attention all Wings fans. 89 cent wings
Wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Are you a veteran looking for a new companion animal, a dog, a cat, or maybe something else? The Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs Vets Get Pets program can cover up to $350 of your pet adoption fees. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov/vetsgetpets to learn more about program requirements and how to apply. Want to help support the program? Get your Vets Get Pets specialty license plates from the Nebraska DMV. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. Association Station.
You're listening to Uncut with Kyle Perry on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Happy Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Uncut, 93.7 The Ticket. If you're just joining us, hey, we got a couple of horses in the back here in the booth with me. Emmett Olson, Jace Kaminska. Emmett going into his third year as a Cornhusker, man. He's been here the whole way, and Jace is going to get his first taste of ball in Lincoln, and he's loving every minute of it, man. He's a happy-go-lucky fella, and he can sling the freaking rock, man. I'll tell you what. Small town Kansas kid. He'll put people on notice, and especially the Big Ten. I can tell you that much. But a guy that's already put the Big Ten on notice, my dear friend here, Emmett Olson. I mean, he's coming off of a pretty solid sophomore campaign, I'd say, and he's poised to make a pretty good impression here on not only the Big Ten, on the country this spring. Emmett,
what's going on,
brother? I mean, right? We said we're fired up. Everyone knows we're fired up. If we weren't fired up, there's something wrong with us. But like I said earlier in the on the deal, we got 1A and 1B here. I mean, I don't know what the situation is, and I'm not going to spill the beans. Whatever, Friday or Saturday, whatever happens for you two. I mean, it's gonna be a fun couple of days to watch if you like watching the pitching. So I mean, Emmett, last year, I mean that really your coming out party, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Not the K-State game. Just I mean,
it started something.
Right. I mean, it
got the ball rolling.
It did get the ball rolling. It wasn't the best, and I'm not going to say it wasn't the best for you. It simply was just not the best for anyone. It wasn't even the best for the fans. Brutal game, brutal weather, tough deal. Tough they did make it happen, but yeah, it got the ball rolling, like you said. I mean, what'd you finish out last year? I can't remember. I mean, after you became a starter.
I think my final sets were like a 2.8 ERA and like 66 innings or something like that.
Yeah, that's gonna play.
Yeah,
surely gonna play. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, Illinois native. You end up. I mean, Champaign is right in your backyard, right?
No, it's like 2-3 hours away.
In the backyard,
closer than here. Yes.
No, I mean, certainly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So tell me how one Big Ten team lets you go and then another one snatches you up. I mean, they messed up. That's for sure.
Yeah, actually, so Nebraska's my only Power 5 offer out of high school. Other schools were like Eastern Illinois, Northern Illinois,
right?
Like Miami of Ohio, small max schools, smaller schools like that. And yeah, Illinois, they I think they texted me once or twice, and then whenever I replied, just no answer.
Mm-hmm.
No answer. Same thing with Penn State, like super interested. Not looking at it now. No shame on going to Penn State for baseball, but I'd rather come here for that.
Tell your boy Linsman that.
Yeah. Shout out Linsman out there.
Oh, he's tuned in. Yeah.
But yeah, Penn State, I did a couple things. I went on a visit there, and then just same thing. They'd be texting me all the time, and then she would text back and just nothing.
Right.
Until
Ghosting you.
Yeah, until I sent like a text.
Mean girls on Tinder or something. Like that.
But like none of them. The funny thing was none of them answered me until I texted all the coaches and said like thank you for considering me or whatever.
Right.
But I'm going to Nebraska, and that's when I got like congrats and all that stuff.
Oh, of course.
Guys who never text me in
Of course.
6 months or something like that, and it was just like, why? Like,
Yeah.
just say like you don't want me or something. Just don't.
Right.
It's not.
Right. Don't keep me in the dark,
ghost
brother.
me,
No,
like,
yeah,
I don't
come
anything. Just
on.
don't ghost me.
Does that
Come
happen
on.
a lot with high school athletes? Like when you're in that recruitment process, to where like when they move on, you're just kind of ghosted. You don't even know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I've heard a lot of
Yeah.
stories about it. Like
It happens in the portal too, because I mean that happened to me. Like LSU ghosted me in the portal.
I heard that
Hell,
story.
bro.
I would love just to text me like, "Hey, we're moving on to another guy."
Yeah.
Just something to shut the door.
Yeah, it's just like no, just wait until if you even send the commitment text to them, like you won't get nothing from them.
Tony Vitello freaking ghosted me.
I think you can ask, but I think it's also it's not your place to ask a coach. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Especially
it's
in high school too.
No, I don't think you need
You're
to
so
ask,
scared in
but
high
I would hope they would be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
we're moving on."
You know, you're like 17, 18, and they're
Right.
what 40 plus, and
Right.
they're just ghosting you like you're a high school kid. And I'm too like I was way too scared to like talk to coaches and
Right.
out of high school. Like I'd be shaking in my boots if one of them called me or whatnot. And
Oh,
but
real,
like
real quick, Ellison, Illinois wants to know where you're from.
Des Plaines.
This plane.
It's about 5-10 minutes from O'Hare Airport, up in the northwest suburbs.
Perfect. I think she might be from that region.
Oh, really?
I think
What's her
so.
name?
If I remember, Ellis.
Ellis.
Oh yeah, Ellison, Illinois. That's her full name.
Oh,
There you go.
Ellis. Well, thank you for tuning in, hon. So like I said, we got 1A and 1B in here tonight. And I mean, these guys, no, hold on a second. I only say that because that's what the coaches say. And it's like the best because it's like, I don't want to call you A and B, right? I don't even know which one of you is 1A and 1B. You guys got to prove that to me this year. So, but that's what that's the professional.
That's a
way of
good
saying it.
problem.
It's
to
a
have.
great, yeah,
That's a damn
exactly,
good problem to
absolutely.
have.
We had a quote today.
You don't want Jace pitching,
Right.
ridiculous amounts, throwing his arm out. Or
Right.
whatever.
Exactly. We don't want a sophomore Jace problem on our hands, right? So, no, I mean it's going to be a fun year, man. I'm fired up because I'm moving to the bullpen, Harrison, as you know, and oh boy, and I'm just fired up to at least watch, Friday and Saturday to watch 7 clean innings of ball.
How far?
Just on a regular basis. I'm
10
just
days
fired up.
now.
What's that?
Yeah, I think it's
10
10
days.
10 days. 10 days. Mark those calendars, folks. But I mean, yeah, I'm excited. I'm chomping at the bit. I mean, it's just going to be so much fun to watch baseball again, especially when you have a good team. It's exciting. There's definitely it's a different feel.
It's different.
It does. It hits different, bro. It certainly does. And I mean,
You guys will get to test yourself early too.
And I
We
mean,
talk
Jace-
about that all the time.
Jace, have you gotten? I mean, I know Emmett has. Have you gotten to experience at least like on social media? Are you big on social media? Like, do you check it regularly?
I mean, yeah, I get on it, but I don't have a crazy amount of
I
followers.
mean, so did you post your commitment here?
I don't think so. I don't remember.
So
I don't
consider it, man.
No,
Just-
because I think I committed to the coaches, and then one of the interview people for the school called me and did an interview, and they tweeted it out. But I did it once in high school, cool, whatever. I didn't feel the need to tweet it again. Like,
right.
Oh, the portal, yeah.
Yeah.
They'll know where you're at eventually.
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
Yeah. No, that's good. I was just wondering because I mean, man, those Husker fans, man, they'll jump on you like a school of
those
piranhas,
tweets
man.
up.
Oh,
Those commitment
yeah.
posts.
I mean,
Oh
shoot,
my.
when I committed when I was 16, freaking dude, it was like right off the rip. As soon as I committed, it was like 100 plus.
I think it was right when the baseball team like retweeted it.
Yeah.
I had like 110 followers, got up to
Yeah.
like 350.
Yeah.
Then like now I look at the post, like the analytics of it or whatever, and it's like 150,000 impressions. I'm just like,
it's nuts.
how?
Yeah.
Like it's unreal.
Well, the weird deal with me though is I never had social media though until my senior year. All I ever used was my phone. I'd call and text. That's it.
Personal choice, or is that like
Personal?
Okay.
Yeah.
A
Just 'cause
smartphone?
I had a smarphone,
You
but I didn't have Instagram or Snapchat even then. I just I would call and text if you wanted to get a hold of me.
She just got a minute phone at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just safe. I'm fired up because it's a totally different deal. I mean, you're gonna have to wait a little bit till March, whenever our home opener is.
Oh, it's unreal.
It's just so much fun, Jace. It is not small town Kansas anymore. It is phenomenal. It's great. These people are gonna show out, especially when you're gonna do well. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. They love you.
they'll literally praise the ground you walk on when you do it well. It's awesome. It's awesome. So I mean, I'm just excited for you because I'm sure things were different at Wichita. Yeah. And I mean, like the fan base were they solid? I mean, Wichita has a pretty rich history in baseball. They do though.
They do, but it's kind of like, I mean, they've just been down for so many years
Right.
though. But
Yeah.
I pitched against Houston at the Riverfront Stadium, which would have been the minor league park downtown Wichita, and it was the grand opening of the place, and it was during COVID, and they just lifted all the
fan restrictions.
The fan restrictions, yeah. So that one sold out like 8,000 people, and I pitched that game.
That's sick.
Yeah, I went 9.
But I knew it. I knew there was gonna be something. Yeah,
alley-oop,
bro.
That's the coolest. I mean, pitching in front of fans. That's the most I ever pitched in front of, but it never got close to that ever again. Most after that was like 1,500 maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I remember playing at Wichita State senior year in high school. I mean, it was we were playing Legion ball and they had like a little tournament there. It was a sweet field, but it's pretty sweet field.
It's so big though, and they're all so behind.
They got
home
that
plate.
super tall
that
grandstand
second deck
behind it. It's crazy.
But when it's so big and towering like that, though, when you're pitching, and say there might be 1,000 people there, it feels like there's 100 because you could probably name half of them because you know whose parents are who and whatever.
It was kind of like when we went to Globe Life. Like there's probably 2,000 maybe plus there, and it looked like there was maybe 150.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's something at like US Bank too. Like those places don't fill up. It doesn't look big at all.
Like I mean, I remember US Bank because when we first went there, I was the juice box guy on the team. I wasn't playing. I mean, I still am, but I like my sole responsibility. I was sent on these trips, bro.
Yeah.
I traveled. I was hurt. Like I literally just had surgery 8 months prior, so I was not like there was a 0% chance I was pitching. I was solely there to bring juice and just yell as loud as I could.
I think that's what Coach Bolt even called it.
Literally,
he said he's there for the juice.
Yeah, and so I would we went to US Bank to play. It was a pod. It was like Illinois and Iowa or Minnesota,
Minnesota, Ohio State or something.
Yeah, Ohio State. Yeah. It was Ohio State and Iowa. That's who we went and played. I'm pretty sure
you beat Iowa, right?
Oh yeah, I think we went 3-1 that.
No, I think
there was a bunch of teams.
I know we played Ohio State and Ohio. I don't know if you. I think it was just those two. I think it was just those two. Yeah. Sorry.
and so, but like no fans. Like I think it was like family only. Whoever we put on our passes, that was it. No invitations. Like no open doors. Whatever. We come in, bro, and when we go there, I want you, whatever day you're not pitching, just go and try to simply be as loud as you possibly can at an NFL stadium.
Oh,
all right, and let me know how your vocal cords are feeling the next day. I mean, it is the most just humbling experience. You think you're this big old juice box, this Energizer bunny, and then you go to this NFL stadium that has like 200 fans in it.
At that,
we're in a shipping crate and I'm yelling on the top of my lungs and there's not even a freaking echo. I mean, it's stupid. It is so stupid. But I mean, boy,
and that's when
it's gonna be fun this year.
That
it's
was still when COVID was prevalent too.
Yeah, that was.
Remember, it was all boarded up.
Was that the 2020 year or 21?
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah,
like places were boarded up.
Okay,
like it was
2020 when it was like wild.
Yeah,
but like they had freaking Walmart in Lincoln like boarded up because everyone was. That was Black Lives Matter.
That was the second wave of it. Whenever the Omicron one or whatever it was called,
dude, that's crazy.
Megatron.
It all comes full circle. Jace went to Wichita State, 2020. We were literally about to leave for Wichita State when freaking COVID hit.
Well, I wouldn't have been there that year.
I know, but still, it binds us together. Wow, look at that full circle moment for the boys.
To be.
It just was.
Real quick from the text line, we do got a couple more. Ellis, she responded. She went to Prospect High School.
Okay.
She said that's pretty close to.
They were. I think they were in our conference for high school. We played them a bunch.
Okay,
well, I went to Maine West.
High School.
Yeah, I went to Maine West.
Then we got another one. They asked, "Does Emmett think that Lincoln, Nebraska, has worse wind than Chicago? I think we should change Lincoln to the Windy City."
That's a good question. That's a good question. It's been bad here recently. Like some nice days, like 35 and sunny. You go outside in the morning, it's like a summer morning. And then about noon, 11, you just get like 20-mile-an-hour winds. And it's brutal.
You know why it's called the Windy City, right?
Because I think it's like politicians or something.
It's just because like
people are so strong.
I mean, I was just like,
because everyone's always talking or something crazy like that.
Yeah, it's because people are so winded when they talk. They always tell stories and exaggerate it and stuff.
Loudmouth Emmett.
But It's close, but I think Chicago has it. It gets bad out there.
Yeah, and the winters up there, I know, are
Brutal.
just anywhere around those lakes. It's
Yeah.
going to be an awful experience.
It's brutal. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I went and got Chicago style pizza, and bro, it ain't it.
What?
No,
I don't know.
No.
Deep, I'm out on that too.
No.
I mean, there's certain places. I hate Lou Malnati's, but I'll go to
The
Giordano.
Illuminati?
Lou Malnati's.
Lou Malnati's.
Yeah, but I
Sounds
hate
Italian.
that. I hate it's very. I'm guessing at least. But like I hate that their pizza,
Yeah.
their deep dish. But I'll go to Giordano's and eat it all up. Like it's so weird. I guess it's just how you make it.
And
or-
let the
or
people
something.
know what's the go-to place when you're up in Illinois at least.
Portillo's.
That's right.
I think they expanded to they got a couple in Iowa and maybe a couple in Arizona.
They're making
Not,
their
they're not
way.
as good. They're not
They're
as good.
making their way.
Not as good. The further you get from the city,
Well,
the
of
worse they
course.
get.
I mean, it's just like if Ron's started branching out, to get pretty crusty eventually.
I had my first runs at the
Thoughts. Jace.
Okay. I am not a fan of the Runza, but the hamburger I'm okay with.
Good. You're okay with
No, I mean like
solid bite.
solid hamburger. Like I
Right.
mean like
Consider the dollar
better
amount.
than like obviously way better than McDonald's, but it's like so I'm from Kansas though, so we have Brahms. So
Never
had
heard.
Brahms? You never had Brahms?
No, no, sir.
Oh, have
It's
you
a
had
chain?
Brahms?
Sounds familiar. I don't think it's
Yeah,
Brahms.
they have
I'll look it up
ice
real quick.
cream. They have,
Brahms?
it's like a dairy
It's like a Sonic.
No,
No.
it's
It's like a drugstore.
no. They have like 100 flavors of ice cream and they make burgers. And,
Like a Freddy's kind of maybe.
but like
Probably
100 flavors though.
Oh really?
Yes. Like you name it, they make it. Like
It's like a Baskin Robbins with burgers.
yes, but the burgers are comparable to Runza. Like
Okay.
same
I was waiting for the burger aspect.
same burger and fry as Runza, but with like 100 flavors of ice cream, and all the ice cream comes from like their dairy. It's in Oklahoma.
Is this
somewhere.
place as big as Costco or something?
It's like everyone eats it. I mean, it's
Okay.
like well, it's got like a grocery store in it too. Yeah.
So
You
it
gotta
actually
see-
okay.
Yeah.
Hold the
They gotta
phone.
mark it. Yeah, you gotta
Harrison, look
look
me
it
up
up.
a picture of a Brahms.
I'm looking for it. It's
I
I spelled it wrong.
It's BRAUMS.
What?
It's on H.
Has anyone heard of this Brahms? Is this a small town Kansas thing?
No. And the cool
I thought all you had was a post office.
It's from, it's from
Yeah.
Oklahoma, but it's a
Oh,
cool
yeah,
family
it's
owned
huge.
deal.
Is it? So it does look like a Costco.
Well, it's got like the electric doors, like a Walmart when you walk in. You know,
Right.
like they slide. But right when you walk into like they have the little grocery store, and they have like just the essentials like milk, some bread, you know,
And
it's like-
100 flavors of ice cream.
It's all their brand, and then you go to
Essential.
then you go to the other side of the store, and then
Right.
it's all then it's got this really long whatever the ice cream like where they scoop it out of like whatever you call one of them. Like,
Yeah.
like where you,
Mega
the
pints.
glass. Well, no, they do sell it by the pint too.
I might have actually been to one of these.
Yes,
Is it like
it's-
kind of run down? Or
No,
like
I mean
nice?
it just depends. It just depends.
It
I
might
mean,
have just been a small.
yeah,
It almost looks like those massive gas stations you see.
like
Mhm.
Buc-ee's.
the Loves.
Yeah, it's about the size of like a Buc-ee's.
Yeah,
Oh,
But the
kinda.
layout's obviously different.
Yeah,
It's kind of like a Cracker Barrel.
Okay.
You got the one
no.
side where they sell stuff
Well,
and you
kind
get
of
food
the
on the other
setup.
side.
Yeah, the
Dude,
setup wise. Yeah.
can Uncut get a sponsor by Brahms? Because I want to go. I want to get the hookup at Brahms.
It looks
how
pretty
far
good.
how far away is the closest Brahms?
Probably KC if I had to guess.
KC, so a 3 to 4 hour drive.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
hey,
surprised you hadn't had it. Though.
Pecan Pie says Bronze is better than Runza all day long.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, all right.
well, I'm not a
okay,
fan
hold
of
on,
it.
hold on.
It is. It
Pecan, bro. I'm fired up. You tune in every week. I'm fired up to hear your. Come on, bro. Well, first off, I need to know where you're from because I mean if you're a Nebraskan, shame on you.
Are you a Cubs fan?
No.
Okay, good. He said it's called the Windy City because Cubs suck as well. So
Yeah, Cubs do suck at White Sox.
Yeah, true. He's a
And
Southside
I have a
guy
hot
anyways.
take.
He's not offending anybody.
Also, another hot take. I do not like Runza. I've had it once. I've not given it multiple tries, but
did you just the Runza or
no, I think I got chicken tenders, and they are brutal.
Whoa,
How can
that's
you
my-
mess up chicken?
that's my
Really?
favorite.
I was
That's my
like, how
favorite
could you
there.
how could you mess up chicken tenders? And the fries weren't great. Man, it was just a bad day.
You don't like
or-
the crinkle cut fries?
No, I like crinkle cut fries, but
You like
Wow.
deep dish pizza though, and I'm
All
so
right.
I just don't think we're gonna. I don't think we're gonna.
All
do
right,
it.
yeah. I mean, the tensions are pretty high. I think we're about. I think we're gonna have to cut the break a little early here. I'm about to throw hands here with Emmett Olson. Pecan pie, pretty offensive too. We're gonna talk a little bit more. Runs up, Brahms, burgers, whatever. Uncut, 93.7 The Ticket.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction,
contact Choice Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit, and you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour, an opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our centers too. We can take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Neil Armstrong waited 6 hours and 39 minutes to step onto the surface of the moon. Jackie Robinson waited 20 months to play his first game with the Brooklyn Dodgers. And even DiCaprio had to wait 22 years to win an Oscar. You can wait until your destination. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
The Ticket Water Cooler.
Ethan running back in 25, returning in 24/7 sports. You can certainly argue that Anthony Grant being there no matter what's bad and high.
That's just because the Iowa running back ended the season at a higher note. I don't care about the end of the season. Look at the entire season. Anthony Grant had a great season.
The good news for Nebraska is if Anthony Grant does fall off, A.J. Allen looks like he's going to be there. Ramir Johnson led the team in rushing 2 years ago.
Game's your starter 2 years ago.
I mean, they got a great room.
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like music is unique,
This is Mommy's jam.
be sure you check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the AL.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. 4 in the morning, my phone rang. They said, I regret to inform you your husband was missing in action. Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury, was doing school full time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey. Care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Wall-to-wall wine and spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive selection of wine, beers, spirits, and cigars at 5427th Street. From shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-wall wine and spirits has adventure to every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-wall wine and spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 27th Street.
93.7 Ticket KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Sunny skies and mild temps for Tuesday. We top out near 50. Winds out of the west northwest at 15. Clear tonight with the low dropping down to around 27. And more beautiful weather for our Wednesday. Mainly sunny again near 50. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to Uncut with Kyle Perry on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. Little bruised and busted. If you guys weren't tuned in earlier, I mean, Emmett Olson here, left-handed pitcher from Des Plaines, Illinois. He had a little bit to say about runs. I had to take care of business. He's wiping his tears in the bathroom right now. No, back to Uncut. Emmett Olson, Jace Kaminska, a couple horses for the Nebraska staff this year, and I'm fired up to watch them compete. But we were talking about
There's this place called Brahms in Kansas. I guess
Yeah.
that's the place to go. Jay said it has all the essentials.
Barry from the text line said the closest Brahms is in Salina, and it's glorious.
Where's that?
Salina is
Salina.
It would be it's like an hour and a half north of Wichita. So if you went to like, it'd be between. I mean, if you went to like York and went south, so I mean, Wichita is middle Kansas. York is west,
right?
Or
Yeah, I think it's
it's west.
You know York?
Yeah,
have you been to York?
Well, I used to make the trip to Wichita. You remember? So,
Oh, yeah, you do. You would. Okay.
Yeah, I would
Sure.
have made it. So,
Sure. You like the water tower
in York? Oh yeah, the looks like a balloon.
Yeah,
like
yeah. That's like that's one of Nebraska's finest.
So probably 2.5 hours, I'd say, to get to Salina.
Okay.
Is it worth that drive?
No.
Oh,
it's not. I mean, it's like if you were road tripping or something. It's like you never tried it before.
Sure. I mean, we ought to make that a point. We're gonna hit Runza, Portillo's, and Brahms all this year. We're gonna make that a point because I'm sure we're going to be crossing a Brahms eventually.
I would say our midweek games,
I was
but those are down and back trips. If we stayed the night, like we'd have to play like a weekend series.
True.
Against, like
We're gonna
K-State
find
or
one.
KU.
Said another freshman's going to start against K-State in a cold, muggy day.
Yeah.
We're going to have Led go to Brahms, whatever it's called.
M.
Yeah,
Brahms,
with an M.
sorry.
Yeah.
And he just caters it for us.
That would be sick. Because I mean,
it's part of the tradition. Three of us here.
True, it is. Our director of operations guy, Curtis Ledbetter, Husker legend, man. He hooks it up. For
He's the
boys.
homie.
He freaking. I'm telling you what. I mean, his food taste is incredible. He always says, it's always a great thing to have a big guy as your ops guy because they take care of the food stuff. And I was like, you know what, bro? That's facts.
Yeah, I'd be
That's
concerned
facts.
if my chef's like super skinny.
True,
I'd be
yeah,
like,
I'd be
was
like-
what you're cooking not good or what? It should be.
I don't want that lean.
I bet he's
BS.
had Brahms.
Isn't he from Kent?
Yeah,
he's from
definitely,
Kansas.
he's definitely had
Yeah.
Brahms. He's
Yeah.
definitely had Brahms.
And it's cheap.
Is it? Oh, all right. Yeah, you sold me.
How much is like an ice cream pound or something?
Like a pint?
Yeah.
They're like 2 for $5 or 6 or something.
I want to also shout out Pecan Pie because he says he's from Southwest Missouri. So I don't want to, no hard feelings, brother. I mean, if he was from Nebraska, though, it would be punishable in 49 states. But, no, I mean, Runza is amazing. And Emmett, you said some fighting words because I mean, everyone likes to talk about the Runza burgers because burgers are a very arguable topic. Right, like we said, we're gonna have Max Anderson on this freaking pod at one point, and we're gonna get him and his burger opinions. But I mean, you hated on the chicken strips, bro.
Yeah, and the fries.
They got to be just.
It had
like,
been an off night.
That had been like.
I was gonna say
we don't want to make another batch.
It must have been a brisk.
I've never had like. Were they just dry?
It was just bad.
Oh,
I can't remember.
And you don't even like
bad
ranch.
oil.
I hate
ranch.
ranch. Yeah, he doesn't like ranch.
I don't like ranch
Ranch is
either.
gross.
I don't like ranch either, Kyle. You're
Jeez.
you're outnumbered in that. That's surprising. I've never met.
You know, weird one. I don't like.
Just
I don't like
people.
mac and cheese either.
Wow.
Okay.
Me neither. Hey, no, we're there for that. I hate cheese, bro.
I don't like cheese,
so
but like in certain things, it's good.
that's my.
That's
Yeah,
what-
I agree. Some
Like,
some things need cheese, and most of those things I don't like. But like pizza, obviously.
Yeah.
Like a burger, you're not getting the cheese on there.
A pizza though, you can overdo the cheese for me. Like there can be too much.
Yeah. And if you eat cheese pizza, dude, there's something wrong with you. You get checked out.
I mean, unless you're 6 or something.
You need it, right. You need a protein in
all I
there.
ate.
You need a protein in there. All right. And I mean, I'm telling you, man, we got good food around here. Okay, we might have a Brahms. We need to get Portillo's.
We
They
need
need to
to.
branch out to the Lincoln area.
Oh, what's his name? Owns it now.
Who?
Warren Buffett.
Does he?
Yes, he doesn't get out here.
Yeah,
It's criminal.
I got him in
That
my
is
contacts.
criminal.
I'll have to hit him up, tell him to get one in the Lincoln area here ASAP. Boys, stud pitchers here for the Husker baseball team, and I'm fired up to have them on. Thank you guys for coming in. Emmett Olson, Jace Kaminska. Boys, I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys
All
for
right,
having us.
thanks for tuning in. 93.7 The Ticket, Uncut. We out.
Later.